And we are live. Welcome everyone to Wings Week in Review. My name is Sean Cowgill. I'm a returning citizen here at Wings Week in Review and also Wings for Life International. We are live here in the offices of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Today I have a special guest, Carrie Vender. She's from Small Business Liaison of Albuquerque, New Mexico. You want to start a business? You don't have the money, you don't have the resources, you don't have the knowledge, you think it's too much trouble, it's too much work, it's a dream you'll never have. Watch the show today. You'll find out your dream can come true right now, today, right?
Oh my gosh.
And I told you I'm winging it. I told you I'm winging it. First, I'm gonna switch chairs with our founder of Wings for Life, 28 years now. She started this whole thing to help families of incarcerated people. Here she is, Ann Edenfield Sweet. She's gonna update you on this week.
Thank you, Sean. Yes, we had so many things going on that we do want to tell everybody about all these great things. Of course, we had a big Christmas party and we gave away thousands of gifts. If you could see the rest of our office, you would see the boxes stacked at the ceilings around here, because on Monday, we are going to have our Christmas go shopping. But let me back up. On this past Monday, we had Greg Gould, a good friend of mine, who is a social worker, has been his entire life, and now he's training other social workers. And he just had such an excellent talk. So if you really want to understand about ethics in the workplace, ethics dealing with addictions and jobs and everything, he just did an excellent job educating all of us. So I hope you'll go back and look at that. That's on our YouTube and also, of course, on our website. Then this Monday night, let's back up. So last night we had 80 plus of our Wings families. They were invited to go and see the Nutcracker of the Southwest. Have you the Nutcracker in the Land of Enchantment? That's the official title, and it's so wonderful because it's the Nutcracker, but it has the Zobra, which is, if you haven't been to Santa Fe for the Zobra, you would need to do that. You can see that in the Nutcracker. You can see the Roadrunner. Oh, you could see all the New Mexico things. You see the red chilies. Have you seen that one?
I didn't even know
Oh my gosh,
That's
it's
awesome.
Fabulous. The costumes are so good, and we get to go every year for the dress rehearsal. So that happened last night, actually. Then let's see, this Monday is our Christmas go shopping. And this is one of my favorite times of the year because children do not have money for gifts. My boys didn't. They had to make gifts. We went to yard sales and they found things and we got creative. Well, you could come to Wings. Anybody can come to Wings. And the kids, we set up a room for gifts for the kids to give to parents, adults, teachers, whoever. So they get to walk through and we say, okay, everybody pick out a gift. We give them a big trash bag. Put your gift in a bag. And of course, before they do that, they have their little shopping list so they could sit and think, who do I need a gift for? I need a gift for grandma and auntie and teacher and, whoever, a bus driver, whoever it is. And so then they get to pick out gifts. And the adults go into another room and then they get to pick out gifts for their kids. And this is when we use gently used items, because when my husband was in prison, I had no money. I had 4 little boys. How do we have Christmas? So we got very creative. And so the things that I learned, we share at Wings. And so this is where there will be gently used things. If it's clothing, you take it home, you wash it and iron it, and you wrap it up and it's ready to go. And so it's going to be very exciting. And all the boxes around our office are filled with items that everybody will come and pick out. And what is really neat is we start with this room just jam-packed, literally with thousands of things. And it's all empty at the end of the night. And everybody takes boxes home of their own goodies, and then they get to wrap them at home and they have a Christmas. And it is so wonderful to be able to share that gift of Christmas with people, because so many people don't have that opportunity to go out and get gifts. And of course, we don't want them to get them in any other way except through Wings. And if you want to come and help us that night, we would love to have some volunteers to help. It's a potluck dinner. So we encourage people to bring something to share. Sean is our official cook too. So he's fixing extra food. And we've had all kinds of extra donated food that is coming in as well. And so we will have a feast. We will have a huge potluck, and we'll talk about Christmas. And what is really important about Christmas is about relationships. It's not about how many gifts you get. And, all of that that commercialism. It's really about family and relationships. And so we're going to talk about that too. So anyway, that is going on for this Monday. Then actually you're going to have a break. We'll probably continue. Well, no, over Christmas we will not. We are all going to be taking a break over Christmas. And so, but we will start up again in January with our Wings Week in Review. But our first week for Wings for Life, it will be Monday night, the 16th of January. That'll be our kickoff night again. And I call this our Communication 101. This is where we teach people about the 40 developmental assets, ways to cut at-risk behaviors. And thousands, well, millions of kids have been tested across the United States. You have to have 20 or more of these assets and 30 or more, and no community in America do the kids have more than 20. That's why we've got problems. So we teach people how you're going to build these assets, and they're very fun. Family support. So how do we model it? We eat dinner together. We talk to each other. Hey, let's have some fun. The 40th one is a positive view of the future. A lot of our folks don't have, when they start with us, a positive view of the future. We want them to have that. And so we are going to work on building these 40 assets, and we play games. So come and play games. It's a game night. I like to play games. So anyway, that will be starting in January 16th. Now on Sunday, I'm heading off with one of our dear volunteers, Mary Briggs, and we are going up to Farmington to help them start the kickoff of building Wings for Life in Farmington with their Christmas Go Shopping. So if you're in the Farmington, New Mexico area, that's the four corners of New Mexico, we will be up there on Sunday, and I'll be doing trainings for folks. Then we will be starting 8 programs around the state. Ideally it will be in January, but we're not sure. I want everybody to start when they are ready to start and they are all trained and prepared, because once we start a program, we want to run it right. We want to start it right from the beginning. And so it's certainly coming in 2023. We will have 8 programs around the state of New Mexico. If you're somewhere else and you say, hey, I kind of like the idea of hearing about how to start this program, I can teach you. It's free. It's on our website. It's on YouTube, all of our programs. And I could give you all the handouts and all the surveys and all the things that you can do. The only thing I can't give you is funding, but maybe we can help get funding in your state too. So anyway, we have had a wonderful 2022. It's been a year of a lot of changes, a lot of growth. We're looking forward to our new building, hopefully coming in 2023. So it's just been a great year. And we thank Sean for his Wings Week in Review. And Carrie not only works for the city of Albuquerque, but she has also been helping us. And Carrie, we are very, very grateful for everything that you've done, your advice, and it comes from her personal experience. So now you're going to hear from Carrie how to start your own business and how she's helping us to train people to start their own business. So if you want to come into our Wings Works, as soon as we get some kind of building up and ready, if we have to rent a space, we will, because we have to do this and we've got to get started. So anyway, let's hear from Carrie and hear about all the great things that she has done in her life. And I know all about her business because I ate too many of her business produce over the years. Those donuts, I loved them, but I had to work hard to get them off. So now we're going to hear from Carrie about how to start your own business. So Carrie, thank you for being here. And Sean, I'll turn this over to you. Thank you.
Awesome. So is this going to be like an interview?
Yeah, we're
okay. Let's do
maybe.
this.
Hey guys, I'm back. I was just right there. So we have the donut queen of Albuquerque here right now.
Former donut queen.
Former. But so that was a lot that Ann said, guys. Yes, there's a camera there, and you can get comments in the room here. And
sorry, it's my first podcast.
No problem. So this will be it's on Facebook, Wings for Life. It's on my Federal Prison Talk channel on YouTube. It's on the Wings for Life YouTube channel. And when we're done with this, it'll replay forever unless I can turn it off. So
forever.
There'll be reruns.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for people to come in the room. Guys, this is Carrie Vender or Carissa? Carrie.
I go by Carrie.
Okay, I thought so. So I'll change that. I'll have information underneath the video on how to get a hold of Carrie or someone in your office. It's the Small Business Liaison of city of Albuquerque or
Yes.
the county of
City of Albuquerque.
City? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Is this going to be an interview right now?
Let's make it an interview.
Let's make it an interview.
Yeah.
So, and we're just going to talk. If you guys have questions on how to start a business, now is the time to ask. Put them in the comment room, and we'll get back to you. So, tell me. Let's see. Tell me about the
Small business office.
yeah, small business office. Tell me how you guys got started. What you're doing right now.
Okay, so specifically, I work for the city of Albuquerque. I can give advice to people in other municipalities, but the city of Albuquerque is my main focus.
Okay.
So businesses within Albuquerque. So I work under the Economic Development Department, which is basically the best department in the city because
Okay.
it's our job to find incentives for people to start businesses, incentivize companies to move to Albuquerque, because we think doing business in Albuquerque is the best. It's got its challenges like
Sure,
every
sure.
other place. So my background is that I used to be an architect, and I quit doing that in 2006 to open my first business because I just got a wild hair that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I have no idea where it came from. I didn't have any help. I didn't have a me.
Right.
So I just figured it out along the way, built the parachute as I fell.
Did you figure it out? Did you go like on the internet or library? Or did
Not
you-
so much. I mean,
No.
Facebook didn't even exist back then. So there's
No, there was
like
no cell phones then, probably.
there were cell phones. Yeah. Not like we have now.
Right.
But so, marketing was different back then, but I quit my job. I opened a cupcake bakery, ended up selling it a year and a
Before
half.
cupcakes were popular, right?
It was actually right at
Oh,
the,
right,
the
okay.
time. Yeah. I sort of
Oh, you
caught
got it.
a hold of that cupcake wave. And basically, yeah, just I figured it out along the way as I went. It was rough. I actually lasted about a year and a half before I kind of gave up and sold it.
Oh.
I mean, at least I sold it. I didn't just like walk
You
away from
sold
it, but
yeah.
I sold it. It's actually still in business. And then I thought, being an entrepreneur is too hard. So I went back to work for somebody else. And then I was actually making so little in that job that I couldn't pay my daycare bills.
Mm.
So I thought, well, I'm going to have to take charge of this and open another business.
Yeah.
And that's how my donut shop happened. So I opened a donut shop about 5 years after.
Did you know anything about making donuts? Did you have any recipes?
It was
Did cupcakes.
I actually learned how to make donuts the 2 days before I opened my shop.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You hear that, guys? So
The product rep that sold us our mixes actually taught us how to make
Okay.
donuts.
Okay.
And the first day we opened, they were all raw in the middle. And again, figured it out as we went. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if businesses were easy, everybody would do it.
Right.
They're a little scary, they're a little hard, but it's completely possible to turn something that you like to do into a business.
Well,
So that's what I help people do all day.
because I know here in Albuquerque, and probably in your city, there's a lot of people that start businesses, cleaning houses, detailing cars, doing yard work, even babysitting.
Mhm.
And that could be turned big if you.
Absolutely.
Can you think of a company if you needed a babysitter? Can you think of anybody? A 1-800 babysitter? Do they have anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
There you go. You get that idea. See? All right. Right? Wouldn't that be?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody that's vetted and everything.
Service-based
that you could trust?
businesses are huge.
Yeah.
They're needed. Yeah. I've helped several people that are sole proprietor, house cleaners, like you said, car detailers. Like those are absolutely viable business models.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and it's a good
lot
way
of
to start.
people-
And then before you know it, you got
Right.
so many people, you need help, and then you hire your first employee,
Sure.
and then now you're
Yeah, you get busy, and I can't do this alone. I have to call. I need somebody else.
Yeah, and
I don't
that's-
want to. I got 5 jobs in one day. I can't do them. I got to find somebody.
yeah. And
It happens.
that's the goal, right? To
Yeah, that's the goal.
take weight off yourself and have a thriving business.
This office is full of artwork made by inmates and former inmates. So if they have a item that if they're artists, and they want to sell their stuff, that becomes a business too, right?
Absolutely.
And maybe they need to have somebody else do that for them because they're busy making their artwork. But I know when we get our building next year, if you're an artist, you'll be able to come down to our workshops and we'll help you start that business and help you produce what you make. But but that's next year. But today you can still ask us some questions, and we can maybe get you started if you have. Does it just take an idea to start a business?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
You know, and it takes a conversation to find out how viable that idea is. You need to do a little research, right? Little analysis to see what else is out there in the market that does that. How much do you charge? How do you monetize it? Right. So
I wanted to get in all those legal questions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, any idea can be a business. As long as you can find a customer.
So let's say there's a neighbor in my building has a van and he does car details, right? I don't know how prosperous he is, but he's always, it seems
as long as the van's never there.
The van's never there except for at nighttime, you know.
Yeah.
I see him loading it all the time, and he says he does fleet work, I guess, for
yeah.
car lots that want all their cars done and things like that. So let's say I want to start a car detailing business.
Okay.
Right? But I want to do it legally. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
we like that.
What's the first thing I need to pick out a business name, go register it, get a business license, permit? See, and I say
all that,
the permits. Do I go down to City Hall?
So the permits.
What about the taxes? Are they going to want money from me right away? Oh wait, I don't even have money to start the business, but all that.
Okay,
stuff.
so let's start a hypothetical car detailing business. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, obviously, we know that that's a needed service, right? People do it all the time, so we know that there's customers out there that want their cars detailed. So figure out what you're going to call your company. Are you just going to use your name? Are you going to try to trademark something? Because that's a whole different thing too. If you want to, eventually license it out, if you've come up with a good business model. So yeah, you name your business, find out if that name is available, which through a quick web research, you can find out if somebody else is using that business name, because you want to have a name that's unique. I'm just speaking from Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico, because that's what I know. Right. So your first step to start a business is actually registering your business with the state. So there's 4 main steps to starting a business in Albuquerque, and you have to do them in a certain order, because some of them will need information on the previous.
Sent me that stuff.
Yeah.
Next week I'll be starting that.
Oh, great. Yeah. So he's my guinea pig. And actually I'm purchasing a business next month. And so I have actually just recently gone through this process. So now I can really talk about, and I hadn't done that in a decade, but let
me ask you, is it true that the name of a business, for instance, sports bars, there's the End Zone is in every city, right? It's not, so you can have a name of it. It's not copyrighted. It's not like yours to use.
Yeah. A lot of words and names are not copyrightable. Right. Something like that. But
title of a book, title of a movie. I could make a movie called The Wizard of Oz. I don't know if anybody's going to come, but it's legal to do that, right?
I don't know about that.
It is for movies, because there's there's Bad Boys back in the 80s. There was one, and now they have one with the Martin Lawrence and all that. But it was
usually what you want to do is look through the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So you would look to see if a name is trademarked. Right. A lot of names, like you said, calling a sports bar the End Zone.
But then McDonald's, I can't name my restaurant McDonald's. No. So how did they get away with that?
They have served billions and billions and make billions and billions of dollars. They have better lawyers than the people that own the End Zone. Okay. I mean, if your last name was McDonald's, you might be able to, or McDonald's, you might be able to legitimately open a restaurant and call it McDonald's. But I don't even know about that.
All right.
It's a good question. But yeah, run it through the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Find out if the name is legally usable.
So if I wanted to call it Gail's Details or something like that,
you're probably good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, because somebody's probably not going to trademark that.
I'm good to go in this city, right? But somebody else could use it.
Yeah, somebody could be using it in another state, and if say it's your goal and dream to license out your process in other cities, then you're going to want to protect it and make sure that it's available. And then if you're the first one using it, then you can go after anybody that uses after you. Okay. So it kind of depends on what your ultimate goal is, like how big you want to make it.
Now, does that cost me any money? You going to do a search for that? Or can I do it myself?
You can just do it yourself. Yeah. USPTO.gov, I think, U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
Okay.
Yeah. Free search.
All right. Mm-hmm. So I come up with my name, right?
So you've got your name. Yeah. So if you want a website, you're going to want to register that domain name.
Okay.
which, usually there's an annual fee for that, but usually you can get a pretty good deal right up front. So again, you want to make sure, is my website that I want available? Right. So you have to do a search for that to make sure that it's good to use.
So I did that for the business I want to start next year. And I found the site, and it was $8 for the website, GoDaddy. But that doesn't give me. So when I went to try to build a website, GoDaddy said, "Well, you can use our domain, and we'll charge like $20 a month." I'm like, didn't I just pay the $8?
You still have to pay to get it hosted. So you're basically paying.
That's where I got confused.
Yeah.
Hosted.
So your original amount of money that you pay, which is, like you said, $8, that holds that name for you. But that doesn't mean that you have a website for $8, because you have to then pay for monthly hosting, and then if you use a web developer, that's an additional cost. But there's a lot of kind of plug and play platforms right now where you can do something pretty simple. Okay. So say we're doing our auto detailing site, you probably just need one single page that shows how to get a hold of you.
Basically, and maybe you can schedule an appointment on the website or something like that.
Okay, so we register our business with the state of New Mexico, or whatever state you're in, but I'm speaking about New Mexico. So and when you register your business, you have to register it what kind of an entity your business is. So this means, are you a sole proprietor? Like, are you just dude in a truck that goes and does detailing, or do you want to eventually turn it into a corporation with employees and a headquarters and stuff like that? Like, how do you set that up? Do you want it to be an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation? So do you want to, which adds like a level of protection against your personal assets? Usually I can advise a little bit on how to choose a business entity, but I leave that up to usually your accountant. So
I'm just a guy on living in an apartment. I accountant. I don't have the money for an accountant.
Right. So you're just going to need to pick one then, based on your best research. So say we're just going to call you a sole proprietor. So you're one guy with a truck that does auto detailing.
And if I want to hire people later or subcontract people out later,
there's a different. Okay, so subcontracting people is different from hiring people, right? So if you want to have like legit employees that are W-2, getting regular paychecks, you'll have to register them with the Department of Labor. And that this is all on the Economic Development Small Business website, like all the added steps.
I know that's what gets scary for the people out here that start. I can register with the Department of Labor. Oh, they don't want, Right. So when you hear that, how scary is that?
It's not, honestly. And I always suggest, like, really try it. Like if it's intimidating to go on the website or get into the voicemail loop hell by trying to automate it.
And then workman's comp becomes involved. You got to pay that, I think, right? Unemployment. You got to pay something Medicare. All those little all that stuff on your page.
Right. That's if you have like real employees, that aren't contractors. Because so contract employees have to take care of all of that themselves, and you just pay them.
It seems like that's the way that more people are going now. The contract, it's easier, right?
It's easier on your books. Yeah. However, but I mean, go to the departments that handle all this. We're all just humans, and we're here to help you start businesses. Right. So I know it seems really scary, but there are real people behind all of these departments that want you to start businesses and will help you. So the planning department, very helpful. You just go in there and talk to them. Okay. Like people like me will help. I consider my job to sort of like, liaison. Like I trying to Sherpa people through the process. Like I hold their hand and I tell them what their next step is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're kind of the, like you said,
I'm guiding you up the mountain.
Right. Okay.
So once you've registered your business and you know what kind of entity you are, and honestly, it sounds more complicated than it is. You'll need to register with both the IRS for your federal taxes and with the state.
I know that's a lot more easier than people think. Oh,
it's so easy.
The state taxes. So
it's so easy. So your first step is with the IRS, and you will get what's called an employer ID number, and you get that whether you have employees or not. So it's a little bit. So it's called the employer ID number, but you get that whether you're just a single person starting a business. And you get that immediately. And let me back up real quick. It's $50 in the state of New Mexico to register your business.
Okay.
$50. And that will give
I
you
do that online, or do I go downtown?
You do it all online. So you actually, when I did it just recently, you go out, you print a form, sign it, give them your $50 check, and you mail it to Santa Fe.
Okay.
Or your capital if you are not in New Mexico. So sorry, I just had to back up. So the registering your business does cost $50 with the state. Getting your federal employer ID number is free through the IRS, and you get that immediately.
Now, at the end of the year, when I do my taxes, do I do one for me and then one for the business?
Yes.
Okay.
In most cases, if you're a pretty simple business sole proprietor, and that's like your only form of business, it can easily be one form. But again, you'll probably want to use a tax professional, even if it's one of the folks that sort of pop up at the end of the year. But I don't do my business taxes myself. I rely on somebody else to do
that's scary
because because you don't want to you don't want to get them wrong.
No.
You don't want to get them wrong.
You don't.
So after you register with IRS, and you'll register with your state tax office, again, no charge, but they'll give you and I just found this out, they now give you 3 different numbers. You'll get a gross receipts tax number, and that's the number that I'm going to use to buy goods and services with my business for other businesses. So if
I want wholesale products,
right? So because you're an auto detailer, you're going to need supplies, right? So now you're going to have a tax number, so you can go to, O'Reilly's or wherever you get your detailing products, and you will get them with no tax.
Nice.
Because you are essentially reselling those supplies.
But there's 3 different numbers now. There used to be one,
and then there used to just be one, and now you get a I think one was a workman's comp number. Oh shoot, I don't remember what the third one was. It's new, so you get 3 numbers now. But those will also be generated immediately. And then once you have that, then you can.
So when I apply for my EIN, they're going to give me 3 numbers back?
No, EIN, you just get 1.
Okay.
State tax, you get 3.
State tax, you get 3. Oh,
right. And I think you only get the additional ones because part of the questionnaire is like, will you have employees?
Right.
And so I think that if you answer no to that, I don't think you get one of those numbers. But one of them is a workman's comp number or a workforce.
Okay.
Dang it. I should have.
That's okay.
It's new. It's changed.
It's new. I mean, the laws are always
since I did the last time.
So I wonder why they did the 3. Is that easier for their accountants?
Well, they're different sort of pots of money, right?
Yeah.
Because you pay unemployment tax, and that goes into this pot, and then you collect taxes when you sell stuff,
right? And
then that's your gross receipts tax, which you then need that number for, and then. I cannot remember what the third.
Well, maybe it'll come with us.
Yeah.
Comments. Yeah. I'm just checking the comment room. We have comments. Oh, it's a spam. Never mind.
New site with hot girls.
It's a spam. Jeez. Really, guys? You block this person. It happens.
That's okay. I thought they were talking about me being the hot girl, but
we do have people watching. So we've got the business name. We go down. We don't go down. I'm old school. I always think you have to go down to City Hall to do this. Now it's all done online.
I actually do. You can do it online, but I tell people all the time to go down to the planning department when they do their final step. So you've now gotten your business entity. You've gotten your 2 tax numbers, federal and state, and then the last step is to get a city business license, which I do tell people all the time. The website, websites are websites that they just go in person. You can.
So I've been to prison, guys. I have a record. Are they going to turn me down for this business, for a business license?
No.
See, that's one thing that I know people coming out, or people with a record, they don't think they can have a business. That's one of the myths out there.
Oh wow.
They don't think they can. I can't be a business owner.
Absolutely, you can. It is absolutely your right to own a business and commerce however you like. The city likes and wants people paying taxes and starting businesses.
I know I've talked to guys who've done time, and they're actually scared to even apply for that.
Interesting,
because they think it's going to draw I'll be on the radar now or
Oh.
something. You know, they're just
Well, I mean, if you don't pay your taxes, you are, but
yeah.
you know,
It's just
if you operate your
it's
business
a
on the
myth
up and
in
up,
prison.
yeah.
People think that I got to go work for somebody else. Other people say that's the only way I'm going to get a job. I have to have my own business,
right?
nobody else will
Because
hire
finding
me.
an employer is challenging. Yeah.
So there's two different views
Interesting.
on it.
Well, it's definitely an option.
I know guys that are scared. They're scared to go down.
Well, then they need to find people like me that will Sherpa them through the process.
And I used to think that at one time too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down there. I don't know. You know, they're gonna,
right, like walking into a government building all of a sudden becomes intimidating.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. So registering your business with the city is pretty straightforward. Again, you get a business registration, like a business license. It's $35 a year in the city of Albuquerque.
Okay.
So you pay that when you register, and then depending on what kind of business that you have, there might be other fees attached to that. Like if you are in a building, if you're going to rent a space, you'll have to get a fire inspection.
Okay.
Which has a fee, and that's just for the fire marshal to come inspect the building, make sure, proper exits. They look at all the things that they need, and that fee has a fee. And then if you are opening a restaurant or a food-based business, you'll have to pay an environmental health fee because they'll have to come do an environmental health inspection to give you your green tag.
If I'm going to do a
business.
food truck, catering truck, but I cook out of my house, I don't even know if that's legal to cook out of your house.
In the state of New Mexico, it actually just a year ago, July, became legal to make food in your house, but it's the products are limited, so you can't go make stuff that needs refrigeration. So kind of dairy, meat products,
I know
and
there's
stuff like
food
that.
safety. There's a
whole, so you can do like
reasons.
baked items, jellies.
Okay.
There's a list of products you can make in your house, and then you can go sell them at growers markets, farmer markets, like different little pop-ups that happen there. I mean, once you've got a business license, you can sell whatever you want anywhere. But you just have to, if there's food involved, you have to follow certain rules, and all of that is on our website.
Real quick, if I want to sell something on a corner, I want to sell T-shirts, right, that I make, and I want to put up a table on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
How do I? Is that
$10 a year for a sidewalk permit?
Okay, do they call that a vendor's permit or
sidewalk permit? Yeah, sidewalk permit. Yeah, and it's different than I think you need that in addition to your business license. So you do need to be, you are supposed to be a legitimate business in order to do that. Although people sell things all the time.
Do I need permission from the city to be on the sidewalk, or the owner? Like the owner of a shopping mall, they don't own the sidewalk, right?
They don't own the sidewalk. They own or rent
but they own the parking lot. But maybe I work out a deal with them or not.
Yeah, you can do that.
Because I do see things on the corner, people selling all kinds of different items.
Yeah, you would think that they would have permission from somebody, but sometimes I'm an ask forgiveness, not permission person. So, but I don't encourage that. Sorry. Bad advice. But yeah, there's any number of ways to sell something or have a business. Just contact your local municipality, wherever that is, to find out what the rules are, because no city is going to not want you to start a business.
One thing I don't see in New Mexico is in California, people are selling fruit on the corners.
Interesting.
A lot of oranges are a big item, but they sell strawberries and everything, and they have a table and they just and they get them. Well, this is the desert, maybe one, but there's a lot.
I see that in Corrales. There's a guy there every summer that sells watermelons. Or they're selling like hand carved wood items and pinon.
They do pretty well. I hear those guys are selling it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they have a vendor permit.
I don't think California they do. They're it's kind of always looking for the cops to run or shut down. But we don't want to do that anymore, right? You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, no, I would like to encourage legal, legit businesses because
it's $10 a year. I mean, really, guys, and that's and $50 to register to get the business permit. So $60 and you're legal and you don't have to worry about the police, guys.
Right. And then, like I said, if you end up renting a space or you've got other circumstances, then there's other fees. But truly, it's a pretty low threshold of entry to start a business.
Okay. See, because that takes a lot of relief off. I've talked to people that have food trucks and they didn't have, well, they wanted to get a food truck, but all the permits involved, and they think it's just a hassle and it's too much trouble. And I'll just stick with my job at Walmart and, not be happy every day. But, you're at Walmart, you're working and you see, people stay stuck in their job and they never actually go out there. I'm talking to you right there. They never go out and pursue your dreams. So what can you give to inspire these people that hate their job at Walmart, but they want to start a business, but that's all that ever happens. And,
so again, I can only speak for the city, but we have a really large amount of resources for people wanting to start businesses. So there is a really good small business ecosystem in Albuquerque. In fact, the majority of businesses in Albuquerque are what are called micro businesses.
I like that.
Where
Micro
it's,
businesses.
yeah. So small business, according to the Small Business Administration, is a business with 500 employees or less.
Oh, okay.
So think about the majority of the businesses that you see in Albuquerque. They all have under 500 employees.
Yeah.
Not everybody's Intel, right? It's a lot of mom and pop. So we call those micro businesses. And I lost my train of thought.
Well, I know I've talked to several women that have come out of prison and want to start some kind of a house cleaning business, and they even have bigger plans to get other people working with them. But they go. I know they're Nextdoor. Have you heard of the app Nextdoor? A lot of people are advertising their small businesses on that app. I think Craigslist, sometimes they do that. I don't know if Craigslist is popular anymore.
Yeah, my housekeeper, she has a Facebook page, and she I only can afford to use her once a year, but it's really great when I do. But she gets actually a ton of business being on Facebook. Right? She gets to tell people like what availability she has, and people, fill up her whole schedule just based on her posting stuff. So
I know the women I've talked to, their fear is they want to start this business. But right now, they just anybody needs their house cleaned, but they're worried about being vetted. They have a criminal record, so maybe somebody doesn't want to let them in their house.
Right.
The city's not going to give me a permit to do that because I have a criminal record.
Well, I'm gonna go so far as to say, if you are going into people's houses, I would go through the process of getting vetted. Right. You should have insurance. You should be bonded. Because in every business, unless you're like doing online businesses out of your own house or something like that, should have business insurance.
Do you know? Can we talk about insurance for a minute?
Yeah.
For somebody with a criminal record and getting bonded, and you think about that, how that works, the rules.
I don't, but I could definitely
is it 5
find
years
out.
off probation, then they'll finally bond you.
That's a really good question.
Never be bonded,
right?
And
I'm gonna say, like, I would only think that would be a concern. Like if you're starting a business, like I said, where you're going into people's houses, I would always recommend being insured and bonded, or even like going to, being in people's cars since we're talking about the detailing business. Like the more, I guess, hands-on touch you have with the public.
Babysitting, another one too.
Absolutely.
If you ever came up with the 1-800 babysitter, that's my idea. I want 10%, but that they're going to definitely have to be vetted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you can't get insured, you might need to go another avenue.
Or maybe you find other people that can be insured and you run the business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So the women I was talking about coming out of prison, maybe they can't get vetted to go in somebody's house. They know other women.
Absolutely.
And they
yes.
could just run it like that.
Right.
Is that middleman or?
They're the manager. Or
manager,
yeah. They're kind of the middleman.
So there's always that route. So
yeah, there's any numbers of ways to, like, every business idea has a different way to go about doing it.
So I heard a successful story once. There was a guy, he had a pickup truck, right? I think it was a Toyota pickup truck, and he wanted to do hauling. He can't hold that much in it, but he put up signs all over the place that he did hauling, right? And he'd go to people's houses and take their junk and throw it in the truck and go away. And he started getting so busy that he had to get a couple friends to help him out. And he got so busy that now when people want to get a hold of him, they call 1-800-JUNK. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets money when anytime people use that name 1-800-JUNK.
Yep.
I guess he's got to deal with them. I'll advertise you, I'll get you to work, and I get a percentage. And
There
it
you
was
go.
a great story that I saw. That
Yeah, and now he's
1-800-JUNK.
not having to go get
He
anybody's junk.
doesn't get anybody's
He's
junk.
not hauling junk
Yeah.
anymore. He's figured it out.
So I mean, that's the American dream right there.
Absolutely.
That's, Have you
Absolutely.
heard that story about the 1-800-JUNK?
I didn't, but
No.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and that name, everybody knows that now. 1-800-JUNK.
Yep.
I got stuff in my yard. I know they're signed. I didn't write down the number of that.
Right.
But
Oh,
I know
yeah, junk.
1-800-JUNK. I need a babysitter. I don't know who to call. 1-800-babysitter.
When I had a babysitter.
You could call it something else, but I think that's a good idea. I don't know. Nobody has that, right, for babysitting?
Not that I don't know. I don't use babysitters.
I don't need them either, but I'm just throwing it out there, guys. So you can start a business with anything. I know people are doing. They're selling. They make. I want to say, they're doing podcasts are big. I don't mean broadcasts like this, but they just the words.
Mhm.
People like read books
Oh yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah, there's websites that will pay you to
pay to do that stuff. And
Yeah,
people
for voice talent if you've got a great voice.
voiceovers, things like
Yeah.
that. So would you need a business license permit for all that?
Not for that, because you were basically a contractor through whoever is soliciting those services.
Okay.
So at that point, that's kind of like just having a side hustle or a job, which,
Okay.
totally legit.
So once I get the business name, I get the permits. What else do I need? Insurance is
So yeah, so you need insurance, and the amount of insurance you'll need again depends on the circumstances of the business. Like, are you in a building? Are you just in
do
your
I
house?
always need to have the insurance? Can I start without it?
I'm gonna say if you're working out of your house and you're doing an online business, you don't need insurance. But the second you get in your car to do business, the second you do business with the public, if you have a building, if you're going in people's houses or
Okay.
touching their cars,
Okay.
you're gonna need insurance, because you want to be covered in case something goes wrong, because inevitably someone will choke on your donut, or they'll accuse you of breaking their turn signal when you were cleaning their car,
Okay.
whatever.
So I know someone that went to they became a public notary,
Mhm.
and basically I think in 2 weeks they got it. It's not hard to get. They just do a background check on it. But they want to start a mobile notary service. Where
Yeah.
they'll come to you and notarize your things.
Very popular right now.
Very popular right now, and that was easy to do. Dude, would they need insurance too?
If they're going inside people's
I guess
houses
to be a notary, they probably have some kind of vetting fee they have to pay anyways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of registration fee to be a notary. But again, if a mobile notary is driving to somebody's house, going inside, sitting with somebody at their table to sign stuff. So I would want to be insured just to walk into somebody's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they told me that story, and I thought that was that 2 weeks, and you got
Absolutely.
So there
Absolutely.
are things out there that you can.
Yeah, if you any skill that you have can be turned into a business. Any
Sure.
hobby can be turned into a business.
Okay. So I get the permits. I have the license. So let's run down the list. What we need. We need to register our business name.
You need to register your business name.
We need to pay.
You need to get on board with the tax dudes
Yeah, you have to get your EIN, employee
EIN,
identification number,
and your state tax
and
ID
your
numbers.
state taxes. And I do both of those. Can I go to your website to find out? Where?
We on the City of Albuquerque Economic Development webpage, we have a list, and it's all in order of the steps to start a business.
Okay.
And I can send you. I probably did send you.
Oh,
that
you
link
did.
already.
You
So-
did. And I was going to ask you a little later because I'm starting a business next year. And if you watch my channel, you guys know what it is. But it's not here to talk about that today because I'm waiting till next week, guys, because I will be off federal probation. I will completely be free. Everything's behind me. So it's been a long journey.
Congratulations.
Nothing could happen now, right? Nothing can go wrong, right? I don't think anything's going to happen except just life. So you can start a business while you are on probation, guys. I was just told I was getting so close to getting off to wait because sometimes you need permissions for. I would have had needed permission from the federal probation to have a business,
Right.
Because they want to know who you're working
Mhm.
for, and they'll allow you to do that.
Yeah.
It's just
You just wanted to eliminate that step since you were so close.
That's so close. They have to ask permission, and I go wait for an answer from
Right.
the supervisor, and then I want to have a business bank account. That's the thing. Oh, business bank account, credit lines.
Mhm.
They don't like you having credit lines and things like that. So for me, other people have no problem. I know a lot of guys get out and they're truck drivers, and I didn't realize truck drivers, that's a business.
Oh, yeah.
You're a business owner.
Yeah, usually you'll buy their truck and then they'll get hired out.
I didn't realize that they're
Yeah.
actually they're a company or they're a business. Because I've heard people say, I'm a business owner. What do? I drive a truck. You just told me you're a business owner.
Right.
Which one are you? It's the same, right?
Yeah.
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 Because I guess they get contracts with different stores or companies or warehouses or
Yep. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
free agents to.
free agents.
Mhm.
I've also heard if you're going to take up truck driving, I know people in this audience, some guys do go to truck driving school. There's a instead of trying to find the work, there's like a what do I call it? You pay somebody to do that for you to find your work.
Okay, like a broker to.
A broker,
yeah,
that's what it's called.
Yeah.
It is called a broker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's mainly how truckers. You don't. It's like it's against the system to do it on your own.
Okay.
Almost everybody uses a broker, and if you are
To find them to find them their gigs.
Yeah. So that's a big thing.
It also just seems like it would make life much easier to let somebody else.
Well, people don't want to pay the broker's fee.
Yeah. Well, owning a business, you're just going to have to get used to paying fees for things, unfortunately.
Right.
Taxes and fees.
So
but it's not insurmountable.
So let's go back to car detail. Man, I want to start.
Okay, so we've got you all set up. You've got all of your licenses, and you want to start a car detailing company. So we're just gonna keep using that one. So do you have your truck that you're gonna?
I'm
gonna go around.
I'm going to use my car right now because I don't have a truck.
Okay, and it'll hold all your supplies.
I was going to put all that in the trunk.
Okay. Do you have all the supplies you need? Do you have your vacuum? Do you have a source for all of your cleaning products?
Yeah, I have a portable power unit. I have a vacuum. I have trash bags that put stuff in. See, that's the thing. I just working on my car. Like a lot of guys, they want to do this car detailing, but they don't have a truck.
Right. So you're going to need to figure out how your service works.
Yeah.
What's your method? Like what's going to make them hire you versus another mobile detailer, right? Like what sets you apart?
Yeah.
Do you have is your new car scent better than the other guy's new car scent?
Now the guy in my building, he has a van, and I've seen he has a big water tank in the van, so he can wash the
so
cars.
He could do it anywhere.
He could do it anywhere.
So he could do it like if you're out in a parking lot.
I don't think he started off like that, though.
That's a good point to make. Start where you can. Start where you are. So you can have the dream of the water tank, but
So for now, I just do the interior detailing, right? I'll call it interior. Okay? I can only do the inside of the car. I can maybe buff the outside. But
yeah. So obviously your automobile is gonna need to be insured, because you're using it for business purposes. But now you can write off your miles, with the mileage that you spend driving to your clients. You record that, and then that goes on your taxes as a business expense now.
Okay.
And then your personal automobile becomes an asset of your business.
So here's a good question. You're doing these. You're going out. You have 10 jobs this week, but everybody wants to pay you in cash or a cash app, right? Now, who's going to know if they gave me 50 or they gave me $80 or what keeps me honest, and what do I do if they do pay me cash?
So a lot of businesses will, if somebody, honestly, that's up to the business owner. Whether obviously the city and state would like you to be legit with your claimings.
So if I am taking cash, should I make a receipt, hand the person a receipt that they paid cash? Is that one way to do it? Or is there an app on my phone? When they pay cash, I mean, how do you register cash?
That would just be in your personal business books that you received cash.
Okay.
You should be charging that person sales tax.
Okay, so I charge $50. I'll do your car, and the basic service is $50. I got a deal for $100 if you want, Supreme, but $50. So they come out, I clean their car, they give me $50. Well, actually, I need $58.92 for tax. How do I work that out?
You can accept it however they want to give it to you.
Customers are not like, I go to buy those.
I'm not going to lie. do cash deals
Okay.
all the
I
time.
want to buy the beef jerky on the corner. There's a truck there.
Right.
I think it's $5 or something, right? But how does he charge me tax on that? Is it all included? Is it really $4.02 and he's 98 cents tax?
That could be. So he might be charging you $5 and then backing the tax out of that.
Okay.
So he's actually making, like you said, $4 and change.
If I'm paying cash and I want a receipt back, my receipt shows that I go to the Dollar Tree and I buy 5 items, right? It shows the tax I paid. But the guy at the corner selling me the beef jerky, he's not going to give me a receipt with the tax on it. So
Right.
I'm just trying to get on the legal part of this. So what do we do how do we work that out?
Well, you should be paying gross receipts tax on any sale that you make.
Okay.
So if you haven't added it to that $5, then you technically should be backing out of it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that always happens, but
Okay.
that's
So let me
as a government employee, that's what I have to advise.
let me ask you this. So on my business, I'm going to write people a letter for court, right?
Mhm.
Let's say it's $100. Do I charge a tax on that?
Yes,
We do, because that's
it's a service. It's a
I
service.
still charge a tax on that.
Yes, goods and services
So
get taxed.
I need to know that. So
yes. So
I got to pay the feds and the state the tax, right? They each get their cut, right?
Well, the state will get the gross receipts tax. So you charge sales tax.
How is it a sales tax when I'm not? Well, I guess the letter is
Your service is selling something. It is not a tangible good, but it is a value.
Babysitting too. Then there would be sales tax.
I don't know of any
See where I'm getting at?
babysitters that aren't teenagers just working for cash, but so that one's hard for me. But yes, as the service that you're going to provide, whatever your fee is, there should be sales tax on top of that.
Okay.
That then when it comes time to pay your state taxes, you turn around and then give it back to them.
Okay.
So you're a tax collector. It's not your money, and then I always held mine in a separate account.
The Bible says it's Caesar's money, not yours.
And the state will want that portion
Okay.
back when you do your books at the end of the year
Okay.
or at the end of the quarter, however you do.
Okay. If I'm selling T-shirts on the corner, and I used to do this 49er T-shirts, right?
They're likely not collecting and paying taxes.
No, we never did. We
Yeah.
were just doing it under the table here and there. But,
Right.
they would come by and confiscate your shirts sometimes.
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh, they would take everybody's shirts.
Yeah.
Especially if we tried to do it at the stadium.
Yeah.
I've seen them take a whole van load of the guy who was providing all the T-shirts took everything.
Right. Yeah.
So-
The more legit your business is,
Yeah.
and the more you just operate as prescribed,
Right.
you shouldn't run into any
So
trouble.
I want to be legal. I know our audience wants to be legal.
Yeah. So get the licenses, collect the taxes, pay the taxes. And then nobody can bat an eyelash at you.
So so detailing is a service, and they have to charge a tax on it.
Yes.
See,
Services are taxed.
I didn't know there was a tax on a service.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like I said, babysitting or something, cleaning your house.
Mhm.
There's a tax on that.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Okay, so that's news to me. I'm learning something. I knew there's taxes on products. I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Services are taxable. So when I pay my accountant to do my taxes at the end of the year, she charges me sales tax.
She sells tax.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I'm thinking sales. I'm going to hold something in my
Right.
hand.
Right.
So okay. So that's
Yeah,
good
but you
to
can
know.
sell a service.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty. After I know the whole checklist. What have we forgot? Anything we forgot?
So business bank account. So
Business bank
so
account,
I highly suggest keeping business expenses and profits separate from your personal banking.
So when I go,
You can pay yourself
Right.
into your account from your business, but you should have a separate business banking account that makes everything just easy.
QuickBooks, something like that.
Yeah, some sort of accounting software to basically track what goes in, what comes in, what goes out. It can be as simple or complicated as you want it to be.
What's the bank going to need from me if I walk in and I want to open up a business account?
They will want all of the 4 things that I mentioned. They want you to have your state license, your EIN, your state tax number, and your city business license. So they're going to want those magic 4 things that we talked about. and then you can open a business.
I
bank
heard
account.
you have to run an ad in a newspaper for a fictitious business name for 2 weeks and show that to the bank.
I am
No?
unaware of
Maybe
that.
that's a California thing.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the notice of statement of fictitious business in
No.
newspapers?
Uh-uh.
That must be a California thing.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you have to list that you opened up a name, Joe's Car Detail, and you have to list that for 2 weeks.
Okay, to give people the opportunity to argue it or say like, no, I'm Joe's.
Right,
Auto
and then
detail.
you show that to the bank. And yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, not here.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so yeah, basically as soon as you get those 4 things under your belt, you can hang your shingle up and start a business.
Okay, all right.
And obviously you don't have to use a bank, but I highly suggest it.
Can you? I don't have to use a bank to have a business.
Well, I mean, if you want to do cash accounting, I don't know why anybody.
I want to be legal. You guys.
I don't want to know why anybody would want to do that.
Right.
But yeah, and then your bank that you do your everyday business banking with is probably your good first source if you need like additional funding. I don't know if you want to talk about like finding capital for.
Yeah, let's talk about that
for businesses.
Because
that's
let's say I want to start a car detailing business. I'm willing to do the work. I have no equipment. I have nothing. What do I do?
So you're gonna want some influx of or some injection of cash.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah,
to start your business, you need some nest egg, right?
A lot of people out there in Albuquerque or the other place, they don't even have a car and they want to start a business. So
right, it's challenging. I mean, there are definitely a lot of ways to borrow money. They're gonna want you to have some skin in the game. They like you to have collateral. So, my first, the cupcake business that we were talking about, I took out a $10,000 loan to start that. I had to give them 2 car titles as collateral to borrow $10,000, which is it was high, which in this day and age, that seems like a really high amount of collateral for that little amount of money. But, again, they want to know that you have skin in the game. So there are small business lenders, there's credit unions, traditional banks, credit cards. There's a number of ways to get your seed money to start. Grants really don't exist.
I was just going to get to that. The whole thing, they'll sell you a book on how to get grants. That you could be left-handed. There's a grant for that,
Good luck. So I hate to burst that bubble, and I burst that bubble to somebody almost every day. There's no magic grant tree growing that gives people money to start businesses. You can look for them. I'm sure that there are some niche grants that exist.
I saw one of those books, how to get a grant. No, there was a left-handed one in there. There was everything you could think of,
But so like we were saying, start small, right? You said the guy didn't always have that water tank, right?
Right.
But he probably, started small, got a car loan to get his car to do
that.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there's going to be some capital to start with that you're going to have to come up with on your own.
Sure. But if I want to do house cleaning, I can afford. I can go buy some.
Yeah, you pretty much just need your.
I just need
supplies.
some spray bottles and some rags and things like that.
Yeah.
I can go do that.
Right.
So.
Right. I always say just start with what you have. Start where you are.
Okay.
And then you just need to keep reinvesting in your business, right? So you've cleaned a bunch of houses, you've detailed a bunch of cars. You pay yourself what you need, but then you take that money and you keep reinvesting it in your business. So you save up for the van that's going to be the auto detailing.
The 1-800 junk guy. He's got a Toyota pickup.
Right.
It doesn't hold much, but
right.
I can do some jobs.
Right. And so he kept investing in that business until now he is basically a broker for junk picking up. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Did we answer that?
Yeah. So do you have any success stories that you put your hand in and watch help somebody grow, or
other than my own? So I just helped a small business office client recently. She makes candles, and she really badly wanted to have a retail space, and she ended up finding this super tiny little cute store, and she sort of got over the fear of having a physical space.
Okay.
And her ribbon cutting, she's already opened, but her ribbon cutting is next week.
Wow.
So she's this little candle store. I had
Nice.
a company contact me. I won't say the name of it, but a local bakery company, about 30 years old. The wife contacted me because her husband has been running the business for 30 years and doesn't give himself vacations.
Oh.
And so they called me, and I talked them through just the process of sort of detaching himself a little bit from the business and like trusting his employees, giving them more responsibility, more, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I consider that one a big success, even though it wasn't like a startup.
Right.
Right. But we can go in and make your existing business better. I've got a couple that live in the international district that make cookies, and they were doing it as a home bakery.
Okay.
And so we got them all hooked up with all of their legitimate licenses.
Okay.
And now they're baking in a commercial kitchen.
Really?
So there's like, that's another way around it. It's like there's different
I know there's
business incubator places.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So you say you can't afford to rent a kitchen or a building that's all yours. You can just rent time in these other
It's
spaces.
already been approved by the fire
They're already
department
green tagged and
yeah.
everything. You go in, you make your stuff, you get out. So they're just about to start baking their product out of a commissary kitchen.
Okay. Great.
And so we're talking about how to market them. We looked at her profit margins. I told her she needed to charge more for her product because she wasn't making enough with what her costs were. So we can,
Sounds great. Okay. I think I covered everything. Anything you want to, how about some final words of advice? Maybe something to build these people's hopes.
I think
and dreams.
my final word
How do you get the
is
person off
advice.
the couch? And
I'm going to say the same thing as when I started. It was easy. Everybody would do it. Everybody always says I should start a business that like I can't think of anybody that hasn't had an idea that they're like, oh, I should start a business at that. It's completely possible. You do need to have a little fire under your butt to get through the processes, but really reach out, look for people, look for the helpers, like they always say for like to little kids, look for the helpful people, call your local government, find out who the helpful people are and find out what the process is. It's really not scary, but find people that will keep you accountable. Right.
Okay.
I think that's really important too, right? Because you've just announced to everybody that you're starting a business next year.
Yeah, I am.
So
I definitely have to be.
So they're all going to hold you accountable for being.
Somebody's always watching me, but so the guy gives you 50 and he gives you $10 tip. You keep it. You write it down. Is it taxable? All that stuff. You just you got to do the right thing.
Yeah.
If somebody gives me a $20 tip for detailing their car, so what are the rules on that?
That's yours to keep.
I can keep.
Yeah.
I don't have to claim taxes on
right.
that.
If you haven't, okay.
Because waiters do in a restaurant. It's
man.
Waitresses.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I take that back. Technically, they're supposed to be taxed like with payroll. So at my donut shop, my employees had to pay taxes on the tips that we got in cash.
Okay.
You're right.
But you want to.
If I detailed somebody's car and they gave me a $20 bill, that would be going right in my pocket if I was a sole proprietor.
If I was a sole proprietor,
I would sure not be putting that on my taxes.
Right.
Sorry, City of Albuquerque.
It's a judgment call. You make the call.
It varies whether you're working for yourself or if it's people that work for you that are receiving tips and you're paying them paychecks. Obviously there's rules and there's gray areas.
I want to be squeaky clean. Okay?
Yes.
I don't ever want to have to.
Right. You don't want anybody
to any authority or law that I did something wrong.
Right.
If I know I do it right from the beginning, got to do it straight from the beginning. See the state tax thing too. I didn't realize I have to on a service. I have to pay the state and there's state and federal on a service. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So your state taxes is the gross receipts tax on your service, and then and then whatever you pay yourself out of your business, that's where you'll file your federal taxes.
And what is it for New Mexico? The sales tax out here?
It's over 8% now.
Over 8%.
Yeah, and that rate is always posted on the state tax website. It will always tell you
the federal tax.
There's the federal taxes happen when you pay your income taxes.
Oh, so there's no federal sales tax. Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't know, guys. So I thought maybe there was, and that was always included in the price.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, that they get theirs when you file your taxes.
State wants theirs now. They get theirs then.
Right.
Sales tax, is it? Can you pay it once a quarter, once a month?
You can.
Once
you can
a day. How does that work?
How did we used to do it? I think we used to do it monthly.
Monthly.
I think we used to do it monthly, and it's pretty easy through the state tax website. It's called Taxpayer Access Point.
Okay.
And you or anybody that's helping you with your books can just log in and basically whatever you've collected in sales tax, you claim it and you give it back.
So I need to put that aside.
I always kept it in a separate account. So in my business banking, any sales tax that my stores collected, we actually it had its own account so that I never pretended it was mine.
So let's say I don't have the money this month. I spent it all on rent. I thought I would have more jobs. I don't have your sales tax.
So you borrowed it out of the sales tax?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's no
because
bueno.
it was a cash business, and I thought I'd get another job and use that one for the taxes at the end of the month, and I didn't get a job.
Unfortunately, those can add up, and those can come back and bite you.
And they can take my business license away and all that stuff too if I don't pay those taxes every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a real thing. There are guys out there they're not going to put the money away. The guy with the car detailer, is he going to put all that money away for the end of the month? They're paying him cash, and he's
it's hard to swallow, but it's really not your money when you collect it.
It's Caesar's money.
Right? It's Caesar's money, and Caesar's going to come get it.
Okay. So,
but if we're operating, legit and above board, and
which I want you to, and I want you to.
Yeah, so, I would agree with that. Yeah, then
so
I would keep it separate from the beginning, so that when it comes time to pay it, you're never behind the ball.
So if I'm including, it's $100 and it's really $90, but I'm extra $10 for sales tax. But I put that aside every time I get paid. At $10, I got to put aside. I can't wait. I'll get something at the end of the month. I could spend this 10 now. No.
Right. People get in trouble with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I know of a business in town. No longer owned by the same person, but he used some of that money that he collected and gambled with it, thinking that he would grow it, right? And then that didn't work out, and then it made it like kind of triple bad.
Wow.
So again, never pretend like it's your money. Just put it aside.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the guy babysitters, well, you might be all right, but put that $10 away out of the 100 or whatever it is.
Right.
Since it's 8%, I'm going to put 10 away, and then maybe at the end of the year I have that 1.2%.
There you go. Yeah, a little forced savings account there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess that's about it. Anything else out there?
I'm absolutely willing to answer questions. So should I you can leave my contact information?
Yeah, I have it on here. It's underneath the website though. Underneath the video, I have your information.
Okay, great.
I put both your phone numbers that were on your card.
Perfect. Yep.
Is that okay to put both of them? Because one was a mobile and one was.
Yep, they both ring to my mobile number. So
okay, so you guys have that underneath, and I guess that's about it. I want to thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you for asking me.
Don't forget your hopes and dreams, guys. They started today after the show. So thank you guys all for watching. Next week, I'm going to Colorado, and I don't think Wings is around, but I'll try to do a remote little show. I'll be on a train, the Amtrak, right around this time next week. So look for me. If the internet works on the train, you'll see me. If not, we'll catch you. We'll see you next year. Thank you. You guys have a great week.